Moving on to lesson 12, make eye contact and small talk. This is not just polite, it is part of being a citizen and a responsible member of society. It is also a way to stay in touch with your surroundings, break down social barriers, and understand whom you should and should not trust. If we enter a culture of denunciation, you will want to know the psychological landscape of your daily life. This was a really interesting section here, a lesson, something I hadn't really considered before, but it's worth taking note of because it makes a lot of sense. Tyrannical regimes have risen up at different times and in different places. And one of the things that happens is, people are living in fear and repression. And so that in talking to people who have experienced this, a lot of people talked about how they remembered how their neighbors treated them. A smile, a handshake, or a word of greeting, banal gestures in a normal situation took on great significance during these times. And so, in the most dangerous of times, those who escape and survive generally know people whom they can trust. Having old friends is the politics of last resort, and making new ones is the first step toward change. So I think beyond just creating a kind of environment in your community of just general pleasantness, there's some kind of strategic elements here. If things get really bad, it's helpful to have a gauge of your kind of environment around you and who to trust and who not to trust. But also, you've practiced the ability to be friendly with people and potentially meet and make new friends. So that can be life-saving in the worst situations. Lesson 3, practice corporal politics. Power wants your body softening in your chair and your emotions dissipating on the screen. Get outside, put your body in unfamiliar places with unfamiliar people. Make new friends and march with them. And this has been huge, especially in the massive No Kings protests. And the protests in Minnesota following the murders of Renee Good and Alex Preddy. The resistance there, getting out, showing the country, showing the world that you will not tolerate that behavior. That has had a ripple effect. People are still talking about it. It is still a source of inspiration. And it not only tells other people, hey, it's okay to do this. It's necessary to do this. It encourages people to get out and do it themselves. But it also communicates to our leaders what are our priorities. It's the attention grabber that hands the microphone over to the people during those moments. And I mean that in a quite literal sense, because as media has covered these protests, right, they're out there interviewing people, getting their perspectives, and there's patterns forming in the things that people are out there protesting, right? And so it's become very clear that Congress will have the support of the people if they are acting aggressively to abolish ICE, to impeach Donald Trump, to restore order to our justice system, to get out of this conflict with Iran, all of those things. And so it emboldens our leaders to take more aggressive steps because they know that they have the support. And it hurts the opposition here because that's the position of the people, right? And so if you're in opposition to that, good luck come midterms or the next election cycle. For resistance to succeed, 2 boundaries must be crossed. First, ideas about change must engage people of various backgrounds who do not agree about everything. Second, people must find themselves in places that are not their homes and among groups who were not previously their friends. And protest can be organized through social media, but nothing is real that does not end on the streets. If tyrants feel no consequences for their actions in the 3-dimensional world, nothing will change. And I think that's becoming more and more clear as we've had the No Kings one. That's fresh on this last Saturday. Biggest protest in US history, right? Millions of people out on the street protesting. And it feels different in those moments. And the conversation changes. It has changed since then.